The moment you accept being average, you've already lost. Not to someone stronger, smarter, or more talented than you, but to the version of yourself that was capable of becoming extraordinary. That's the biggest lie ever sold to ordinary people. That you have time to wait. Wait for confidence. Wait for permission. Wait for the perfect opportunity. Wait for someone to recognize your potential and open the door for you. That is the fantasy of people who are afraid to compete. Reality is far more brutal. Nobody is coming to discover you. Nobody is going to save you. If you don't force your existence onto the world will move forward as if you were never here. I want you to understand something. The difference between greatness and obscurity isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't where you were born or how much support you had. The difference is hunger. Real hunger. The kind of hunger that ruins your sleep. The kind of hunger that makes failure feel like an insult instead of an excuse. Most people don't want success. They want comfort with the appearance of ambition. They want to dream about victory without paying the price that victory demands. You say you want to become extraordinary, but then you ask for balance. You ask for motivation. You ask if it's healthy to sacrifice so much for one goal. Let me ask you something. Since when did history remember balanced people? Since when did legends become legends because they knew when to stop? The people who changed their lives became obsessed. They chased one idea with such intensity that everyone around them called them unreasonable. The average person hears that and gets scared. I hear that and I know I've found someone worth paying attention to. You have spent too much time trying to fit in. You worry about what your friends think. You worry about looking arrogant. You worry about failing in public. You worry about being judged by people who have never accomplished anything themselves. That fear is poison. The moment you let strangers decide how much confidence you're allowed to have, you've already accepted defeat. Confidence isn't something other people give you. Confidence is a decision. You decide that your goal matters more than their opinion. Here's a fact that most people refuse to admit. Life is a competition. You can pretend it isn't. You can decorate it with comforting words and inspirational quotes, but reality doesn't care. Every opportunity you want is wanted by someone else. Every promotion, every championship, every business, every dream. Somebody else woke up this morning wanting the exact same thing. The question isn't whether you're talented enough to win. The question is whether your desire is stronger than theirs. The problem is that you've been trained to avoid standing out. Since childhood, you've been told to be humble, to wait your turn, to make sure everyone gets a chance. But when it comes to your dreams, that mentality will destroy you. If you have a chance to move forward, take it. If you have a chance to prove yourself, take it. If you have a chance to become better than the person standing next to you, take it. You are not here to apologize for your ambition. Stop confusing kindness with weakness. You can respect people and still refuse to lose to them. You can admire someone's skill and still decide that you're going to surpass them. Competition isn't hatred. Competition is honesty. It forces you to see exactly where you stand. It destroys your excuses. It reveals your flaws. The person beating you isn't your enemy. They're a mirror showing you how much work you still have left to do. I see too many people blaming their circumstances. They blame their family. They blame money. They blame genetics. They blame bad luck. They blame the economy. They blame timing. They blame everyone, except the person staring back at them in the mirror. Listen carefully. You cannot control where you start. You cannot control what happened to you yesterday, but you can control what you do next. Every second you spend complaining is a second your competition is improving. You think failure is embarrassing. I think avoiding failure is embarrassing. Failure means you had the courage to test yourself. Failure means you entered the arena while everyone else sat safely in the audience. Failure gives you information. It tells you where you're weak. It tells you where you broke. It tells you exactly what needs to change. The only people who never fail are the people who never challenge themselves. And they lose in the end anyway. There's another dangerous habit you need to destroy. Comparing your beginning to someone else's peak. You open your phone and see people succeeding. You see athletes winning, entrepreneurs building companies, artists creating masterpieces. You look at their results and decide you'll never catch up. That's foolish. You're comparing years of work to your first attempt. Instead of feeling intimidated, ask a better question. What did they do that I refused to do? What sacrifice did they make that I'm still avoiding? You want discipline? Then stop negotiating with yourself. Every morning you make promises that disappear the moment life becomes uncomfortable. You say you'll wake up early, but the bed wins. You say you'll train, but the couch wins. You say you'll study, but distractions win. You say you'll build your future, but temporary pleasure wins. That's not bad luck. That's a habit of surrender. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you teach your mind that your own words mean nothing. The strongest people aren't always the smartest or the fastest. They're the ones who can trust themselves. They know that when they make a commitment, they'll follow through. Imagine the power of becoming that person. Imagine waking up every day knowing that no matter how difficult the task is, you won't run away from it. That's real confidence. Not talking, not pretending. Proof. You don't need more motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It disappears when you're tired. It disappears when you're stressed. It disappears when life becomes unfair. Systems survive where emotions fail. Build routines that force you to act even when you don't feel like it. Make excellence automatic. Make hard work normal. Make discipline your default setting instead of your emergency plan. I also want you to stop chasing perfection. Perfection is another excuse to stay still. People spend months planning and never begin because they're waiting for the perfect opportunity. That opportunity doesn't exist. The first attempt will be ugly. The first video will be awkward. The first business will make mistakes. The first performance will have flaws. Good. Start anyway. The people you admire didn't become great because they avoided mistakes. They became great because they survived them. Understand this. The world rewards people who create value, not people who collect excuses. Nobody owes you recognition. Nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you applause. If you want respect, earn it. If you want opportunities, create them. If you want a different life, build it with your own hands. Complaining about fairness won't make you stronger. Taking responsibility will. There will come a moment when you're exhausted. You'll question whether all this effort is worth it. Your friends will move ahead in different ways. Some will laugh at your obsession. Some will tell you to relax. Some will tell you to lower your expectations because they're worried you'll fail. In that moment, you have a choice. You can become normal, or you can continue. You can choose comfort, or you can choose growth. You can choose safety, or you can choose greatness. And here's the secret nobody tells you. The goal you're chasing isn't the biggest reward. The biggest reward is the person you become while chasing it. The discipline, the resilience, the focus, the confidence. The ability to walk into difficult situations without fear because you've trained yourself to handle pressure. Success can be taken away. Skills cannot. Money can disappear. Character remains. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop asking for permission. Stop hoping that life will become easier. It won't. The challenges will get bigger. The competition will get stronger. The pressure will increase. Good. That means you have a chance to become someone stronger than you are today. I don't care who you were yesterday. I don't care how many times you failed. I don't care how many people doubted you. None of that decides your future. The only thing that matters is the decision you make after this moment. Will you keep living a life designed by fear? Or will you become the kind of person who forces the world to acknowledge your existence? Because one day, you'll look back at this version of yourself. The version full of excuses, hesitation, and doubt. You'll either thank that person for finally choosing to fight, or you'll regret letting them stay comfortable. Choose carefully. The world doesn't remember people who waited. It remembers the people who demanded more from themselves than anyone else ever could. So, stop trying to survive. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to protect your pride. Walk into the arena. Accept the pressure. Embrace the struggle. Build the skill, earn the confidence, chase the impossible, and don't leave until the person staring back at you in the mirror has become someone even your old self wouldn't dare challenge. There's one final weakness I want you to destroy, and it's the need to be validated. Far too many people spend their lives waiting for applause before they believe in themselves. They want their family to approve. They want their friends to support them. They want strangers to acknowledge their talent. Why? Why should your future depend on the opinions of people who aren't living your life? The day you stop needing validation is the day you become dangerous. Work in silence if you have to. Let them misunderstand you. Let them doubt you. Let them laugh. Every minute they spend judging you is another minute you can spend improving. In the end, results are the only language that everyone understands. And never forget this. Your greatest opponent isn't the person standing beside you. It's the version of yourself that always chooses the easy way out. The voice that says, skip today's work, start tomorrow. You've already done enough. That voice has stolen more dreams than failure ever could. Defeating other people is simple. Defeating that part of yourself is the real challenge. Every day you wake up, you're entering a battle that nobody else can fight for you. Win that battle, and the competition outside becomes smaller. Lose that battle, and no amount of talent will save you. I don't want you to chase victory because you want to prove other people wrong. That's too small of a reason. I want you to chase victory because you've seen what you're capable of, and settling for less has become unbearable. Once you've caught a glimpse of your potential, average should make you uncomfortable. Wasted talent should disgust you. Untapped ability should feel like a betrayal of who you could become. The goal isn't to be better than everyone else for a single moment. The goal is to build yourself into someone who refuses to stop growing. Someone who treats every achievement as proof that the next challenge must be even bigger. So when this ends, don't clap for the speech. Don't tell yourself you'll start someday. Someday is a word invented by people who hope time will solve problems they refuse to face. I want you to make a decision. Right now. Decide that your excuses are finished. Decide that your fear no longer has authority over you. Decide that comfort is no longer your destination. Walk out there with the arrogance to believe you can become exceptional, and the discipline to earn that belief every single day. Because in the end, the people who change their lives aren't the most gifted. They're the ones who looked at an impossible goal, smiled, and said, if someone can stand at the top, then there's no reason it can't be me. But understand this before you take another step. The higher you climb, the lonelier it becomes. People love ambition until it starts surpassing them. They'll celebrate your dream when it's small because it doesn't threaten anyone. The moment your work begins producing results, the moment your discipline separates you from the crowd, the opinions will change. They'll call you obsessed. They'll call you selfish. They'll tell you you've changed. Of course you've changed. That was the entire point. If becoming extraordinary didn't require leaving an old version of yourself behind, then everyone would do it. Growth has a price, and one of those prices is accepting that not everyone is meant to come with you. And here's what separates the winners from everyone else. Winners don't panic under pressure. They become addicted to it. When the clock is running out, when the stakes are at their highest, when everyone else is looking for someone to blame, they step forward. Why? Because pressure isn't the enemy. Pressure is proof that the moment matters. Diamonds aren't created without force. Steel isn't forged without fire. Character isn't built in comfort. So the next time life puts you in a difficult situation, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what kind of person will I become if I survive this? The obstacle in front of you might be the exact thing separating your current self from the person you're trying to become. I also need you to stop measuring success by outcomes alone. You think victory is crossing the finish line, reaching the goal, making the money, earning the title. That's too narrow. Real victory is becoming the kind of person who can handle those things when they arrive. What good is success if you don't have the discipline to keep it? What good is talent if you collapse under pressure? Build yourself first. Build your habits. Build your standards. Build a mindset so relentless that even if life strips everything away from you, you could stand back up and create it all over again. That's true power. Not having everything, but knowing you can rebuild anything. So here's my challenge to you. When you wake up tomorrow, don't ask yourself what you feel like doing. Feelings are temporary. Ask yourself who you're trying to become, then act like that person would act. Train when they're tired, study when they're bored, work when they're distracted, keep moving when they're doubted. Repeat that process so many times that excellence stops being a goal and becomes your identity. Because the truth is, greatness was never reserved for a chosen few. It belongs to the people stubborn enough to demand more from themselves every single day. And if you're still listening to me, then somewhere inside you, there's a part that refuses to accept an ordinary life. Protect that part. Feed it. Challenge it. And never let it settle for anything less than its absolute potential.